I saw something, an idea floating around online, and I wanted to ask you gentlemen about it. The idea was, should America do away with...
Yes.
Well, let's hear it first, because America tries to do away with a lot of shit.
And there you have it. Should we do away with the concept of a billionaire?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
What do you mean?
Rory said no. Just before we get into this, I'm going to get where everybody stands. Rory says no. Park says what?
Yes.
Yes. And you said, what do you mean? Got it.
Yeah, we'll do away with the idea of a
I'll give it to you. This says, if you earn $50 million in your lifetime, you would consider yourself rich, but you would still be $950 million away from being a billionaire. Mm-hmm. A billion is such an incomprehensible large sum of money that it'd be difficult to actually spend. That's what we mean by hoarding wealth. The argument here is that billionaires are hoarding wealth from other people who may be in need.
They are.
There's absolutely no reason why anyone should hoard more wealth than they could spend in their lifetime while others are homeless, starving, and dying of curable diseases. The world's top 26 billionaires own as much wealth as the poorest 3.8 billion people. Billionaires got $565 billion richer during the pandemic, making $42 billion a week on average. In 2019, the number of billionaires grew by 8.5% to 2,825 people, an all-time high. The combined wealth of the world's billionaires reached $9.4 trillion. Should I go on for you, or you kind of get the gist of what they're trying to say?
I get the gist.
So they're saying that they should be forced to spend that money and help?
No, they should actually just be taxed, in my opinion.
What they're saying is, and here it is.
But they're not currently.
It would cost $20 billion to end homelessness in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Mike Bloomberg could do that tomorrow and still have $28 billion to his name. Mm-hmm. Halting global warming would cost $300 billion. The world's 10 richest people could each throw in $30 billion and still have $386 billion amongst themselves. My only issue with this is I was raised not to count other people's pockets.
I mean,
that's my only thing.
No,
I was raised not to count nobody's money. You don't know what they did to get their money. You don't know how hard they worked for their money. You just don't know shit.
They should be held to a standard of they have to help in those areas.
They continue. Let me just close out their point in summation, and y'all can react to this.
Sure.
Many of us are only one really bad year, one medical issue, one lost job from complete financial ruin. Absolutely none of us are one really good year away from becoming billionaires. They don't care about us. Don't cape for them. Don't claim them. Don't defend the indefensible. Mm-hmm. The end. You gentlemen's thoughts on this are?
They should definitely be held to a standard that they have to help with the world problem.
They should at least. The issue is that they should at least be held to the standard that they have to pay the same tax rate as the man that makes $30,000 a year, and they're not.
Absolutely.
Which is
I completely
absurd.
agree there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them make billions of dollars while their employees are making less than a living wage, which is also fucked up. Like they're basically stealing wage wealth from their employees to become billionaires.
Yeah. So what was your original question was?
Should we do away with the concept of billionaires?
So why I say no?
Not allow anyone to become a billionaire in this country.
I can't say that.
No,
I just think that they
never
should be
say that.
taxed.
They should, I agree with that.
And why I say no to that is
Well,
It's the same
yes
shit.
and no. Yes and no. I mean, if they make a $1 billion while still being
Charitable?
not necessarily charitable,
Philanthropic?
but being fair, you know what I'm saying?
But then you're asking the country to be fair, which it's not. So we're that's not on the billionaires.
I am asking the country to be fair, and it's not.
Yeah, I'm with them.
I think it would be
America
okay.
America's a business. It's not a country. This is a business.
We say it all the time.
So if you're making however billions of dollars, and the homeless rate in California,
if I'm Jeff Bezos, I should be responsible for ending homelessness.
No, but you should. Be
I thought of an
taxed.
idea. I thought of an idea.
You should be creating a way to kind of help with that situation, though. Like you should definitely be doing something to help with the homeless problem.
Okay.
Absolutely.
and to the idea of getting rid of the idea of a billionaire, Jeff Bezos in particular, he is a billionaire because he offers a service that everyone uses. Mm-hmm. He's part of people's lives. Like what he chooses to do with that money, of course, is at this point his choice. But yeah, people are making it's a service. He's a billionaire because of that. He didn't just get the money out of thin air.
Right. If you live in this country, you have that much money.
We made him a billionaire.
Yeah,
So it's like,
this-
all right, that's a little odd to tell somebody that is offering a service to not take the money that we're paying him for the service.
You're rebutting what they're saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But if you're a billionaire,
Well, I'm not rebutting them because I agree with Parks completely. They should be taxed
But
the
Parks,
same way
all
somebody.
Parks is saying is the laws should be equal. So there's nothing to argue about there.
No, and Jeff Bezos
They
should be taxed the exact
properly.
same way. And I think that tax money, specifically from billionaires, can go into different programs like global warming, like homelessness, all these other things. They should just be taxed at that exact rate.
Let's not
and then-
attack what Parks is saying because that
I'm
should be
agreeing,
agreed upon.
I'm agreeing with Parks.
What Maul is saying is more so that if you acquire $1 billion in this country, that you should be required
absolutely
to.
help the issues of the country.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Not mad at that.
Because like right now, California, the richest state in the U.S. If they became a country today, I think California would be the 7th richest country in the world. If California was just to become a country today. If you ever go on Skid Row in L.A., it's crazy that all of these homeless people live there, and it's the richest state in the country. It's like it doesn't even make sense. So that's what I'm saying. It's like if you live in California, you have $20 billion, and you can end homelessness in California with $1 billion, you should absolutely be required to put money to some development to get these people off the street.
And people don't really. People pretend to care about issues that they should care about. A lot of people don't really give a fuck about.
No, they don't.
The homeless or the people who don't have somewhere to go. Actually, we have something like this happening in New York right now. Shout out to our listeners listening from all over the world. In New York right this second, due to COVID, they have turned some of the old hotels into housing projects for some of the homeless and for sex offenders and for people that are just released from prison. And what's happening is some of these hotels are in Upper West Side.
School zones. And they're close to school.
And Upper West Side. School zones and Upper West Side. So now you have the school zone people saying, fam, I'm scared to death.
Yeah.
Because you have sex offenders by my kids.
Yeah.
And what should we
Justifiably
do? Definitely justifiably so.
Yeah.
And then you have the people that are just worried about their property value in the Upper West Side being ruined
That's a
because
big
you're
one.
just moving people around here.
Right.
And like, what side do you fall on here? Yes, the sex offenders shouldn't be around the school. But during COVID, everyone does need somewhere to go because one person could poison 10 people and 10 people, so forth and so on. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, let's take this off of sex offender stuff. I have a different example for you. And this is something I've argued about with my friends in my house, just to kind of see where people stand on just this type of shit. Mall's the tenant during this COVID crisis.
Yeah.
You are the home owner. Mall cannot pay rent. Mall is going to hold the rent.
Okay.
But holding the rent means that you can't feed your family as well because you're the homeowner.
Right.
Whose side do you fall on here?
I kind of fall in the middle. I think that there should be and there was, I believe, a mortgage stoppage to some degree or mortgage leniency so that the homeowner wouldn't have to pay mortgage. And I think it should probably apply to property tax too. I don't know if they did that too.
Property tax is the thing that should be taken out there.
Yeah, there should be a leniency on the homeowners, the landlords, so they are not burdening, bearing the
tenants.
burden of the tenant.
Just call Bezos, man. Call Jeff. He'll fix it.
Yeah, I think the answer's in the middle. I
Well,
think
Jeff-
the answer to almost everything politically, by the way, is kind of in the middle somewhere.
Well,
and we'd never get there as a country.
Well, we told Jeff to get the fuck out of here, right? Jeff was coming to Astoria, said, I'm going to create 30 million jobs. I'm going to raise everybody's property value. Give me a little small tax break. And we told him, go ahead, right?
I think that's how it went, yeah.
Well, it was a tax break, and the taxpayers of the neighborhood were going to pay for the building.
Oh, no.
That's what the issue
Yeah,
was.
that was the issue. It wasn't just come in here, bring jobs, and everything is hunky dory. It's like we're paying for you to come in here and get a tax break.
Brings me to a whole nother topic. I'm here today with news.
Oh, back to the sex offender
NPR
thing real quick, though.
Get this shit off.
It's a quick fix with that. Castrate them. Yeah. I vote for that. Anyone who's sex offender, castrate them. They can never do it again.
All right. Well, to close the billionaire thing.
No, I'm not. No. I'll die on this hill. I know a few sex offenders that were wrongly convicted and wrongly accused and
That's
have
the
to
issue.
and have to live their life
Yeah.
That's
like,
the issue with capital
like a whole
punishment.
different way.
If that's the case,
because of some shit that they got pinned with. I'm not talking about like Duke's sex offender charge, like he was around some underage girls who was wilding. I know niggas that were really wrongly convicted of some sex offender
I'm
shit
talking about the
and have to
ones-
file, and now they can't get a job, they can't live certain places.
I'm talking about the ones
You
that
talking
were
about the
actually
real
caught. And that
dudes.
there's just evidence of them
Well, they're
being
not going
sex
to castrate
offenders.
anybody anyway, but I understand.
You know, that like that.
I mean, that
that's
is the issue with capital punishment. I mean, I know people that I've heard stories at least of people like getting caught urinating at a school and got a sex offender charge.
No, things like
you know what
no,
I mean?
no.
Like,
I'm talking about
so-
physically. You raped women.
And
You-
America
you-
doesn't really have the exact best history of punishing people that actually did the shit. If you look at the fact that African Americans and Latinos are on death penalty at a much higher rate than white folks. So basically, probably what would end up happening is they would end up castrating or killing a bunch of minorities that may or may not be guilty of the crimes they're accused of.
I'm talking about people that it's.
I understand what you're saying,
Clear cut evidence that you were a pedophile. You were.
We
touching
know what
children.
you're saying.
I
Paul.
completely agree with what you're saying. If the event, if
Get
they,
them
if
the fuck out of
the,
it.
But then we're
if I
relying
have faith
on-
in our
See,
criminal
we're relying on the
justice
justice system to tell what a clear cut you was caught thing is, because we've seen the court system say this is a clear cut case, he's guilty, and he's clearly not.
Yeah.
So now we're just relying on a system we already don't trust.
Well, the system is flawed. We know that.